My sister stood at the family reunion, holding a microphone, her voice loud and sharp as she spilled lies about me to everyone we loved. Her words felt like knives, twisting my life into something ugly, and I could only watch as our family's faces turned to shock and disgust. Before we start, let us know in the comments section where you're watching from. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more. I got the email about the family reunion months ago. It was going to be at Aunt Clara's big house by the lake, with food, games, and all our cousins. I was excited to see everyone, especially since I hadn't been home in years. My sister, Lila, was helping plan it, which made me a little nervous. We hadn't been close since high school, and she always seemed to hold a grudge. Still, I thought it'd be fine. But something felt off. Lila kept texting me weird things, like "can't wait to see you shine," with too many smiley faces. I brushed it off, thinking she was just being her dramatic self. I packed my bags, ready for a weekend of laughs and catching up, not knowing she had plans to ruin me. The drive to Aunt Clara's took hours. I played my favorite songs, windows down, feeling free. I thought about Mom's cooking and Dad's bad jokes. But Lila's texts kept popping up in my mind. She'd always been jealous, ever since I got that scholarship she wanted. I told myself to ignore it. When I pulled into the driveway, the house was buzzing. Kids ran around, and uncles were grilling. Lila waved at me from the porch, her smile too big. I waved back, but my stomach twisted. Something wasn't right. Everyone hugged me when I walked in. Aunt Clara squeezed me tight, saying I looked all grown up. Cousins asked about my job in the city, and I felt warm inside. Lila was there, helping with food, but she kept glancing at me. Her eyes were cold, even when she smiled. Later, I overheard her whispering to Cousin Jen. "Wait till you hear about her," she said, giggling. My heart sank. What was she planning? I tried to focus on the fun, but her words stuck with me. The reunion was in full swing. We played games by the lake, and I laughed with my little cousins. Lila was everywhere, acting sweet, but I caught her staring. During dinner, she made a toast, saying, "To family secrets." Everyone laughed, but I felt a chill. After dinner, she pulled me aside. "You think you're so perfect," she hissed. I was shocked. I hadn't done anything to her. I asked what was wrong, but she just walked away, leaving me confused and scared. The next morning, I noticed people acting weird. Cousin Jen avoided me, and Uncle Mark gave me a strange look. I asked Mom what was going on, but she just said, "Talk to Lila." My stomach dropped. What had Lila said? I found Jen by the dock. She admitted Lila told everyone I'd been fired from my job for stealing. It was a lie. I'd never stolen anything. I felt my face burn with anger and shame. Lila was trying to ruin me. I found Lila in the kitchen, laughing with Aunt Clara. I pulled her outside, my hands shaking. "Why are you lying about me?" I asked. She played innocent, saying, "I don't know what you mean." Her smile was fake, and it made me furious. I told her I knew about the rumors. She shrugged, saying, "People talk." I wanted to scream, but I didn't want to make a scene. I walked away, knowing I had to fix this somehow. I couldn't let Lila's lies spread. I needed proof I hadn't been fired. I called my boss, who emailed me a letter saying I was still employed and doing great. I felt a little better, but I knew Lila wouldn't stop. I also talked to my friend Sarah, who knew Lila from high school. Sarah said Lila had always been jealous and made up stories about others. It hurt, but it made sense. I had to be smart about this. That night, there was a big family meeting to plan the next day's games. I decided to speak up. I stood, heart pounding, and said, "Someone's spreading lies about me." Everyone went quiet. Lila's face turned red. I showed the email from my boss. People murmured, and some looked at Lila. She tried to laugh it off, saying it was a misunderstanding. But I could tell some believed me. I felt stronger. Lila didn't stop. The next day, she told everyone I'd been mean to her as a kid. Some cousins nodded, remembering old fights. I was stunned. Yeah, we'd argued, but nothing big. She was twisting everything. I felt alone as people whispered. Even Mom looked confused. I wanted to run, but I stayed. I had to fight back, not just for me, but to stop Lila from hurting others. I talked to my cousin Tim, who'd always been fair. He listened as I explained Lila's lies. He said he'd noticed her acting weird, too. He promised to help me talk to others. I felt hope. Tim and I made a plan. We'd talk to family one by one, sharing the truth. It was risky, but I wasn't alone anymore. Lila's lies wouldn't win. At the talent show, Lila grabbed the microphone. My heart stopped. She started talking about me, saying I'd lied about my job and hurt her. The crowd gasped. It was the hook moment, her lies laid bare. I froze, humiliated. But Tim nudged me. I had to act. I stood up, shaking, ready to tell my side. This was my chance to fight back. I took the microphone from Lila. My voice shook, but I told everyone the truth. I showed the email from my boss again and talked about Lila's jealousy. People listened, some nodding. Lila tried to interrupt, but Aunt Clara told her to be quiet. I felt a rush of strength. For the first time, I thought I could win this. After I spoke, people whispered. Some came to hug me, saying they were sorry. Others looked at Lila, who was fuming. Mom pulled me aside, apologizing for doubting me. It felt good, but I was still hurt. Lila stormed off, and I wondered what she'd do next. I knew she wouldn't give up easily. I had to stay ready. The next morning, Lila came to me, eyes red. She said she was sorry, but it felt fake. She claimed she was stressed and didn't mean to hurt me. I didn't trust her. I told her we needed to talk later, with family around. She nodded, but her eyes darted away. I knew she was planning something else. Tim and I talked to more family. We showed them emails and texts proving Lila's lies. Most believed us, and some shared their own stories about Lila's tricks. It was sad but relieving. By lunch, people were colder to Lila. She sat alone, glaring at me. I felt bad, but she'd brought this on herself. Aunt Clara called a family vote to decide how to handle things. Most agreed that Lila needed to apologize publicly. I felt nervous but supported. Lila looked cornered, her face pale. She refused to apologize, saying we were all against her. Some cousins tried to calm her, but she wouldn't listen. I felt sorry for her, but I was done letting her hurt me. Lila didn't give up. She posted online, twisting the story to make me the villain. She said I'd bullied her and turned the family against her. My phone buzzed with notifications. I was furious but stayed calm. Tim helped me respond online, sharing the truth with screenshots. People started seeing through her lies. Family members commented on my post, supporting me. Even distant cousins messaged, saying they'd dealt with Lila's lies before. I felt stronger, knowing I wasn't alone. Mom hugged me, saying she was proud. It meant everything. Lila's lies were falling apart, and I could finally breathe. Lila broke down at dinner, crying and yelling that we were unfair. She said she just wanted to feel special. It was hard to watch, but I didn't trust her tears. Aunt Clara took her aside, and they talked for hours. I hoped Lila would change, but I wasn't holding my breath. The next day, Lila apologized to everyone. She admitted she'd lied out of jealousy. It was short, and she didn't look at me, but it was something. People clapped, but I stayed cautious. Later, she texted me, saying she'd try to be better. I wanted to believe her, but I needed time. The reunion ended, but the family felt different. People were kinder to me, and some apologized for believing Lila. I felt lighter, but healing would take time. I talked to Mom about Lila. She said Lila needed help, maybe therapy. I agreed, but wasn't ready to forgive yet. Driving home, I felt mixed emotions. I was glad I'd stood up to Lila, but sad we might never be close. The road stretched out, and I played my songs again, feeling stronger. I thought about the future. I'd focus on my life and let Lila figure out hers. I was done letting her hurt me. Back in the city, I went to work, feeling proud. My boss praised me, and my friends cheered me on after I told them everything. Life felt good again. I got a text from Tim, saying Lila was quieter now. I hoped she'd change, but I wasn't waiting for it. I had my own path. Months later, I heard Lila started therapy. Mom said she was trying to fix things. I was glad but kept my distance. I focused on my job and friends, building a life I loved. I realized the reunion taught me to stand up for myself. Lila's lies couldn't break me. I was stronger than that. A year later, I got another reunion invite. I hesitated but decided to go. Lila would be there, but I wasn't scared anymore. I knew who I was, and no one could take that away. At the reunion, Lila nodded at me, a small smile. I nodded back. Maybe we'd never be close, but I was okay. I had my family, my truth, and myself.